I just want to sleep, man. I just want to sleep. But it's not allowed. It is not allowed. I had to talk about nonsense on the internet. Oh man, I think my voice is kind of rough today, I don't know why. Let's change the music here real fast. It's looping. It's 10 hours. If it's not looping, it's fine, right? It's not gonna be a big deal, I don't think. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, let's see. Need to bring up my browser, first of all. There's my... So much stuff in here. Oh my god. There we go. There is. This one? No. It's this one. There we go. Okay. Bunch of news this week. And I think I'm ignoring like half of them. Because, to be fair, you have a lot of people talking about some of them. But I just focus on stuff that I find interesting, right? So let's start with good news for once. At least I think they're good. Wait, throw this around a little bit. It's all over the place, Jesus Christ. Anyway. We have some good news from Palworld, look at that. 2024 isn't finished yet for Palworld. We have some exciting news about the next update coming very soon. But first, we want to tell you about something happening in 2025. Palworld X Terraria. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. We have criticized Terraria before, but I still think it's a really good game. So this is actually kind of exciting. They also announced a new big update for this year, which is gonna be pretty big. So that's really nice. We can go here to the... Yeah, there we go. Major update coming in December. Surviving the largest, harshest, and most mysterious new island in Palworld. This is with the new island. It's about 6 times more than Sakurajima, and I haven't played it through Sakurajima yet, so that's not looking bad. Palworld was also currently 25% off. A perfect time to prepare for the upcoming update. Don't miss it. We have some screenshots here. Some new subspecies, I guess. And I think this could be a new species altogether, but I'm not quite sure. Frog. I want to get a frog. I think it's cool. We have the golden beetle now. It looks quite interesting. Is this Elden Ring now? Come on. But it looks rather unique. So that's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. Not bad, man, not bad. Also, apparently in the newest, I don't know. I don't know if it's already released or not, but apparently they are changing some stuff in the game, as you might expect, given the current lawsuit. So apparently they're changing how you spawn the pals, which makes sense. And I think they also changed the reticle. I don't know if that's something they can do when they are in current lawsuit about that, but what do I know? There's some water already. Oh man. But at the same time, I understand them trying to do that in an attempt to distance themselves from the targets of the lawsuit, right? So that is interesting. But sadly, not everything is good with Sony. Really sad to say. I hear from IGN under all the ring, I guess. Sony may find it hard to buy all from software parent company Kadokawa. Financial report claims, and if you've been following news, yeah, Sony apparently is trying to buy Kadokawa, but that might be a little bit too much. It's a lot. It's a lot. And not necessarily good, as you might expect. As an pursuit of Kadokawa rumbles on, financial experts have said the PlayStation maker may find it hard to buy the entirety of From Software's parent company. Thing is, if they can buy directly from software, that's gonna be huge for them. If they end up buying all of Kadokawa, that's gonna be a disaster for us. We'll get to that soon. Japan's Toyo Keizai, the Tamatan, reported that Sony maybe put off the deal due to the cost of having to acquire all of Kadokawa. Rather than the parts, it's actually interesting. And it's actually a little bit interesting here. Let's read some more. Kadokawa is reportedly only interested in doing a deal with Sony if it buys the entire company. Understandably so. Understandably so. Sony, however, is reportedly only interested in extracting assets related to anime and video games. That's probably the main issue, which presumably includes the developer of Elden Ring. Yeah, they are doing really good lately. We've seen how, well, we're selling a lot, so we're actually gonna increase wages. Look at that! Buying all of Kadokawa would cost 640 billion yen, that's around 4.3 billion USD, according to expert estimates. Sony's cash for buyouts is apparently tight at the moment, but the investments made elsewhere. Yeah, also not the best investments. As a point of comparison, Sony bought Destiny developer Bungie for 3.7 billion back in 2022. The studio has since suffered multiple rounds of layoffs and project cancellations. Well, yeah, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I don't think just buying a bunch of gaming studios willy-nilly is a good strategy lately. Have you seen what happened to Microsoft? Yeah, it's something like this. There's also the prospect of a biting war that would cause Kadokawa's sale price the Serbian Sony's limit. That could also happen too. The alternative is for Sony to buy 50% of Kadokawa and turn it into a subsidiary it doesn't wholly own. But that's not what they want. If they are all interested in extracting assets related to anime and video games, because they couldn't be able to extract the assets if they don't fully own the company. At least I don't think that's the case. Wouldn't make any sense to me, at least. Kadokawa's business extends into areas that fit into Sony's broader entertainment offering, which includes anime, manga, TV, and film. And sure, let's read just another line here. Kadokawa is a prolific publisher of anime, and Sony already owns anime streamers Crunchyroll and Funimation. And this here is actually a potential disaster for anime. Even if you think Kadokawa is kind of cool, because they publish a bunch of anime, we've seen that they are allegedly question series too. We read that earlier this year with ReZero. They kept toning down designs for some petite characters, right? And people took offense to that for obvious reasons. So, mixing that with Sony, which already owns Crunchyroll and Funimation, and Sony has been a really strange pro-censorship crusade lately. Yeah, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. That could be Unlimited censorship works. That's not good, very icky, you know what I'm saying? As well from software, Kadokawa's Danganronpa developer, Spike Chunsoft. I think they have more important games than Danganronpa. I could be mistaken. Octopath Traveler developer, Acquire, and RPG Maker and Pixel Game Maker developer, Gotcha Games. Gotcha. Well, they got it. Kadokawa is the majority owner from Software, with around 70% of the company. Sony really owns around 14% of the developer, with, obviously, Tencent owning around 16%. China. They're everywhere. They're everywhere! It's wild. Here's how the roles, research directorate and pure analysis, told IGN that news of a potential deal isn't that surprising. Sony's interest in Kadokawa's game publisher From Software was made more concrete in 2022, when it acquired a roughly 14% share of the company following up on its long-time collaboration with the company, other roles said. Well, yeah, but look, I'm gonna say something that may be quite controversial. I don't think monopolies are good. We'll see the sentiment a couple more times today, actually. I don't think that's good. And sure, they can always buy at least some shares in companies. But monopolies? God damn. They make me sleepy, I guess. At the time, Sony mentioned a broader interest in cross-media development of anime and games IP to support its other media businesses. Funny. I guess, nowadays, if you want to make money, you have to make anime and games. And if that's the case, well, it depends on the game, right? We've seen many games failing spectacularly this year, so I'm not so sure about that. Also, I might be misremembering here, but well, they're investing, so that's a lot of money. If they want to buy Kadokawa, that's like more than 4 billion USD. But didn't they lose like a bunch of money because of Conker's failure this year? Between 200 and 400 million? That's not nothing, you know? I think that... Are they going to explode? I don't think so, right? Feels like they're trying to get a bunch of stuff, but they're not able to hold to it. Oh man. That is interesting. That at least is quite interesting. So in that sense, any deal for the parent company Kadokawa, which also operates extensively in manga and anime, is a natural extension of this earlier deal. These other areas align nicely with Sony's anime businesses. Sony's anime businesses. And, well, this is not a secret, but I'm not a big fan of either Crunchyroll or Funimation. And when they bought both, people were quite vocal about it. Because that's a lot of power in a single industry, in a single company. Isn't that a monopoly? Maybe not legally, but you know what I mean. So I understand the criticism. It's not good. It is not good at all. I'm so sleepy. Holy. Market conditions for acquisitions have changed dramatically over the last 2 years, but Sony will always be looking for opportunities that can fuel its growth and that bolster its IP portfolio. Fuel its growth. Do they mean revenue? I'm not quite sure. They should mean revenue, but you never know. and they represent value. Also, IP portfolio. Guys, I have an idea. Why don't you buy Ubisoft? Why don't you buy Ubisoft too, huh? That's what happens. There will also be defensive element to this move. From Software is an important partner for Sony's game business. They will not want a competitor taking control of Kadokawa and potentially disrupting that relationship. It helps that Kadokawa is also active in areas which are a strong fit with Sony's wider business. Well, but that can always happen, right? This can always happen. It's a rough situation. You cannot have everything, right? That's the main problem. You cannot have everything. Understandably so. Mind you. But at the same time, I understand that it is an important partner for Sony's game business. Isn't Bloodborne just PS4 exclusive? I don't think that's a good idea for Sony. Just sell the game on PC and get my money. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? But Sony, its gaming business, has already suffered significant layoffs this year and the closure of multiple studios, including co-developer Firewalk. I was not crazy. Well, I'm always crazy, but they wasn't wrong. In February, it announced a round of layoffs affecting 900 staff, about 8% of its global PlayStation workforce. The layoffs impacted a number of PlayStation studios, including Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla, and Fire Sprite, but PlayStation's London studio was hit hardest, with notice of closure. It is a strange situation, right? So you're having a bunch of layoffs, and you have to close down a whole studio, and you're buying more stuff from outside instead of cleaning what you have? This could be really rough for Sony, not gonna lie. And you know what? Good. Good! Let them learn. They deserve it. So that was with From Software, but it's not easy to swallow entire Kadokawa. It's not. Wait, hold up. I have read the comments. Bungie scammed the hell out of Sony. It's complete a failure as Concord was, which Bungie alum. Bungie itself was still overpriced enough to be a bigger waste than a AAA live service that failed to launch. See more. The real price was Kadokawa all along, but former CEO Jim Ring was so hell-bent on westernizing and live service on PlayStation that their first-party roadmap is a graveyard. It looks worse than Joel after running into Abby. Wow! But the guy's not wrong. The guy's not wrong. I don't really understand this idea in Japanese companies that they have to become westernized. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Trying to find some more money, perhaps? Sure, I guess. But thing is, and I've mentioned this many times before, people like Japanese games because they're different. They're usually different. So if you want to become something different, you're actually killing what makes you special. And sure, people may disagree with me, it's fine, but it seems like you fool's around at the end of the day. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, From Software's Japanese. I wouldn't say it's westernized at all, and a lot of people like it. So it's a good example of that. If they want to invest more in that direction, that seems good. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. And it's really strange to me. It is really strange to me. Oh man, let me take a sip again. So thirsty today, I don't know why. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of today. I don't know how long this is gonna take me. So, we'll see. Guys, did you know that DEI is dying? At least, that's what they're trying to tell you. Is it true? I don't think so. So let me go through a bunch of different tabs today, just about this. I found this, as many other people, earlier this week, just while scrolling Twitter. I know, Twitter. What a mistake, but I guess it's better now than a couple of years ago. I say a couple, it's close to 4 or 5. We've been reading about DI for months, more than a year maybe even, and the name Ruby Starbuck has been popping out time and time again. I remember it because the last name is kinda funny. Starbuck has to do... I don't think it has anything to do with the coffees, but it's a really easy to remember name. So I found... let me see here, the order of operations. Okay. We have to jump around a little bit. It's fine, it's fine. We had this tweet. Massive news! Walmart is ending their woke policies. I can now exclusively tell you what's changing and how it happened. And once again, we have an apparent rejection of DEI from a big company, and this guy claiming is all thanks to him. To him. I also found, that's why we have to go back to this in a little bit. I also found this meme. Surely it's just a meme. I'm going to debunk a meme. Kind of. This meme, thanks to Planet of Memes, the meme has been updated. I wonder whose woke policies are next. Yeah, some of this I didn't even know about, okay? Ford, Lowe's, John Deere, Tractor Supply, Walmart. It's a little bit all over the place, but it's fine. Jack Daniels, Boeing, Craftsman, Caterpillar, Indy Motorcycle, Coors, Toyota, Devil Tools, Harley Davidson, Stanley Black & Decker. Also, it's kind of funny, because I'm pretty sure that Devil Tools is directly owned by Stanley Black & Decker. This is a little bit strange. But some of these companies, I wasn't able to find much stuff, like Indian Motorcycle. Also, I think that Craftsman might also belong to Stanley Black & Decker. I'm not quite sure on that, so please bear with me. And obviously, I've been reading about this stuff for quite a while now, and we keep finding, time and time again, the same. Well, we're rejecting DI as a term, but we are gonna be doing diversity, equity, and inclusion. So at the end of the day, this guy is doing nothing. This guy, and I hate to use the term. Once again, a term that has been watered down too much. This guy could be an actual drifter. Because what's actually happening, it's not what this guy is telling you. I also found some information about this guy. I don't know exactly what to make about him. He's supposedly, or he was, a video? Not quite sure which one's the proper term. Director in Hollywood, making music videos and whatnot. Apparently he's always been like giga-based right-wing. I also found it quite funny looking through his tweets that between 2012 and 2017 I wasn't able to find literally anything, so that's interesting. That could be my skill issue. I'm saying that now. But there's some stuff here that could be of interest. So I found this article from the Tennessean. Look at that. The grabbing is not terrible today. Not too bad. Robert Ibaraki, Franklin Republican, runs for Congress in Nashville with Ron Paul's endorsement. This is from June 2021. We don't have the date here, but I can see it in the link. June 18th, 2021. And to me this seems a little bit suspicious. It's not strange for highly successful people to get into politics. Okay? I'm not trying to chastise the guy just for that. But at the same time, it seems a little bit too convenient. I don't know. Fellow Republican Robert Ibaraki is entering the race for Nashville's congressional district. Now with an endorsement from U.S. Senator Ron Paul. I didn't know about this. I just found this this week, which is kind of funny. Ibaraki 32, California Funny how you say that, huh? A California transplant. Look, I might not know too much about American politics. Are California Republicans actually Republicans? I don't know. We all know that, for example, the right wing in Europe is just gay in comparison with the USA, and the right wing in the USA could be actually more based than it is. I'm not gonna get into that right now. It would be a huge mega tangent. It's not necessary right now. He went with his wife and children to Williamson County 2 years ago. Said he plans to run in Tennessee's 5th congressional district currently held by U.S. Rep. Jim Cooper, a Democrat. The U.S. Constitution does not require candidates to live in the congressional district of the state they are seeking. Starbucks said he intends to purchase another home in Nashville. And I'm gonna skip a lot of stuff in a lot of these articles, because I don't want to be here reading about this stuff for like 5 hours. I'm gonna die before that happens, okay? Sure, the guy is from Hispanic descent, as far as I know, so he wants to connect with Latino residents and whatnot. Makes sense, makes sense. The thing is, I'm trying to find something specific here, and I don't remember what it is. I've been reading a bunch of stuff this week, so my memory's all over the place. It doesn't happen usually, but happens sometimes. I'm looking. I don't think I've seen this before. Starbuck, whose legal name is Robin Newsom. Interesting. Said he's currently in talks with his lawyer about whether he will need to legally change his last name to appear Starbuck, his middle name, and the ballot. I thought that was his last name, so I guess I was wrong. He said that he has no relation to Californian governor Gavin Newsom. Well, Gavin Newsom is from Italian descent, right? Not quite the same. Okay. Where is it? There was some stuff here that I found really interesting. Hold up. Am I blind? I could be. Shut up. Was not in this one. Am I going crazy? I could be going crazy. Since he faced pushback after he came out as a Republican in Hollywood. He began posting on social media about his beliefs in 2015. Though Starbuck has managed to build a sizable following conservatives. It's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm looking for. Didn't change this week. It's not possible. It's not possible. Ah, there we go. Yes, I'm a little bit blind. A former director and producer of music videos and commercials, Starbuck said he currently is an investor in real estate and the stock market. This is really important. This is really important because he will see. I don't remember if the links I have up will corroborate this theory or not, but many times I've seen him talking about, look, this company just announced they're dropping DEI, which is not even true actually, and their shares were up in price. So if this guy is giga-brained, he could be using his platform to put on himself a bunch of different medals, like, wow, look at this, we are defeating DEI, guys, it's so good, while doing some sort of insane insider trading just to get more money. I'm not saying he's doing this, because I cannot prove it, but if he was Giga Brain, that could be the case. Let's be real, and I'm gonna say this right here, right now. Companies are slow. Companies move slowly. We all know that. The bigger the company, the slower it gets, and that's so obvious. So, when this guy claims, well, we were just about to run... I'm gonna say a smear campaign, even though he doesn't say that, but we're about to expose this company, but suddenly they just dropped DEI. It's not by your hand, okay? It is not by your hand. So... I don't know. There's a lot of mischief going on here. So let's go back to Walmart here. He mentions a bunch of different points here. Here are the changes Walmart committed to surveys. Walmart will no longer participate in the HSC's WOW Corporate Equality Index. Is it actually equality or is it equity? I'm not quite sure, I don't really care. It's not a big deal. Products. Yeah, this one is really funny too. Monitor the Walmart marketplace to identify and remove inappropriate sexual and /or transgender products marketed to children. But I thought this didn't happen. So they went from this is not happening to we're gonna stop this. Strange, to say the least. Funding of grants, review funding of Pride and other events to avoid funding inappropriate sexualized content targeting kids. And I'm not saying this is a bad change, mind you, but you have to admit, it is strange. I thought this was not happening. Equity. We will not extend the Racial Equity Center, which was established in 2020, a special 5-year initiative. This is not saying too much, right? We will not extend it, but they're not outright canceling it. It's just, like, complete. So... I don't know, man, I don't know, it's suspicious, and I know I might be team foiling a little bit too much, but it is within reason. We will evaluate supplier diversity programs and ensure they do not provide preferential treatment and benefits to suppliers based on diversity. We don't have quotas and won't going forward. Financing eligibility will no longer be predicated on providing certain demographic data. And on one hand, this could be good. On the other hand, this could mean literally nothing. Because a key component of these diversity quotas in DEI, and we know there are diversity quotas, is that they don't call them diversity quotas because that's illegal. So this could mean literally nothing. Oh, we're not gonna be using diversity quotas, guys. Yeah, you never did by your own words. So, what's going on here? But thanks. Walmart will no longer use the term in official communications. That's good. That's good. There's good in this, okay? I'm not saying everything is bad. I'm not saying everything is a lie. Well, what I'm saying is, not everything is as good as you might believe. Walmart will discontinue racial equity training through the Racial Equity Institute. Hold up. Once again, this could mean literally nothing. Keyword here. Who, right? You're not saying you're gonna discontinue racial equity training. You're saying you're gonna discontinue racial equity training through the Racial Equity Institute that you told me it's out. It's not saying anything. It sounds good, but it means nothing. And this is the key factor here. DEI. Walmart will discontinue the use of DEI as a term while ensuring a respectful and supportive environment. Our focus is on belonging for all associates and customers. This is the key component here. DEI will discontinue the use of DEI as a term, and they're moving on to belonging. And you will see this a lot today. And he has a video here. I need you to shut up. And how he says it, it's really suspicious. Let me look around a little bit. I'm not gonna stop the music, it's not important. I think it's low enough. There you go. Around here.
And last but not least, drumroll please for the big one, DEI. They will be discontinuing use of DEI both publicly and privately at Walmart. This is a...
He literally told you. They're stopping DEI. They're not. They're not. They're not calling it DEI, that's all. So, of course, we have a bunch of articles about Walmart. And not only Walmart, but let's start with Walmart, because I think this is actually really telling of the current situation. And we're being really slow to all of this, which is a little bit scary, not gonna lie. We have from Forbes. Walmart pulls back on DEI. Could we see more companies adopting MEI? I wish that was the case. I'm gonna skim a little bit here. And most of the information is just the repeat. So, I'm gonna go directly to this paragraph here. Moreover, Walmart has shifted away from using the term DEI in various company materials, job titles, and employee groups. Just a term. Just a term. As part of this change, the company has renamed its former Chief Diversity Officer position to Chief Belonging Officer. And you might think, well, that's just the change of name, right? Of course, they're focusing on belonging. So it's just the same with a different name. Would you believe me if I told you this is not new, despite what they might tell you? Because if we click here, because that's a link, we go directly to Walmart. Train progress through belonging. April 19th, 2023. It's been more than a year and a half since this has been cooking for Walmart. This is not new. And also they're lying to you a little bit. Because you can see here, I'm gonna skim a little bit once again. We have... Did I mention the name of the guy? Dennis Malay, okay. This is here. I recently joined Walmart as the Chief Belonging Officer, an evolution of the Chief Diversity Officer role, and I'm excited for the path ahead. So, when they tell you the company has renamed its former Chief Diversity Officer position to Chief Belonging Officer, it's not entirely false, but that's not what's happening, and that didn't happen today, nor this year. So that's kind of big. That's kind of big. We can also go to older articles, and I think it's important. We have from... this is Bloomberg, right? It's Bloomberg. It's an archive, but it is still Bloomberg. I'm not gonna pay for Bloomberg, okay? I don't care. There occurs DI policy after activist attack over LGBTQ support. And I'm gonna scan a little bit through here once again. And we find some interesting wording. It comes a week after a week. Just a week. Just in a week. Companies are not this fast. Come on. After anti-dei activist Rory Starbuck started a social media campaign against the company, calling for customer boycotts because of its support for LGBTQ events and other initiatives. Toyota said at the time that the LGBTQ programs targeted were led by employee groups and the company directly. And here we have the big hit. The spokesman for the company on Thursday said the Starbucks public attack drew a few hundred queries from employees, questions from a small population of dealers, and about 30 customer calls to its call center. He described the impact as negligible. So, sure, I'm not going to disparage this guy for being anti-DI or anything. Obviously not. Thing is, it's not having an impact. Not as big as an impact as you think it has. So, I have some information here. That's a big deal. Right? We have, for example, from The Guardian. This article is more than 3 months old. Remember that. Harley Davidson drops DI initiatives amid pressure from anti-woke activists. Milwaukee-based company no longer has minority-owned supplier goals and plans to exit socially motivated training. And can we skim a little bit here? We might be able to... Hold up, I don't remember every single article. If you haven't made some notes. This is from August 20th, by the way. It's, once again, in the link. Was not this one? Didn't they mention April? Maybe it was not this one. Yeah, I wasn't going crazy, it was this one. Here's an announcement Monday, and the Milwaukee-based company said it has not operated a copyrighted DEI function since April. No longer has minority-owned supplier goals, and plans to exit social motivated training for employees. Since April. This is in August. 4 months. So that has been happening before Robbie Starbuck said anything about this. I'm pretty sure. And thing is, allegedly since April, right? But if you go to the website, Harley Davidson, an inclusive stakeholder approach. What? What do you mean by this? We take an inclusive stakeholder approach to ensuring profitable growth and sustainable long-term value for our stakeholders, our planet, people, and communities. Also, this is kind of a self-report here. We take an inclusive stakeholder approach to ensure profitable growth and we cannot select here. It's okay. Ensure profitable growth and sustainable long-term value for our stakeholders. How about the company, though? And you're supposed to make money? Beyond sustainability and ESG, we seek to drive desirable positive impact for all our stakeholders based on this simple premise. We all do better when all are included. Our focus areas: inclusion and belonging. Do you remember the belonging mention? Because it's here. Driving positive impact in our communities and creating a path to net zero. Net zero, that's never gonna happen. Recognize the interdependence between healthy societies, healthy planets, and prospering inclusive economies. So, this is still here. What do you mean? Oh, that's funny. Now we also have the little mischievous creatures in Kick. Imagine that. Can I... Hold up, let me update the browser here. Get banned. I'm not gonna pay for followers, what do you mean? What's wrong with you? Makes no sense. Jesus Christ. Okay. putting everything in its place again. So yeah, thing is, it's still the same bullshit with a different name. Inclusion and belonging. You're gonna see that a lot today. So yep. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this website is kind of different right now. Because I don't think this was something like this a couple of months ago. It's from September. It's from September. Yeah. Well, it's fine. Well, it's fine. But I think they changed this a little bit. I'm pretty sure there used to be about more diversity, but the thing is, it's literally the same. Different name, it's literally the same. What else do we have here? WS Toolmaker quietly removes DI and LGBTQ campaigns from its website after boycott. From its website. Ibaraki Toolmaker Stanley Black and Decker. I wasn't sure if I was reading that right. Appears to have described this website of references to diversity quotas and LGBTQ campaigns in the face of a damaging boycott. The company, which is behind such brands as DeWalt, Black & Decker, and Stanley, so I guess it was not a Craftsman. I wasn't sure, so there's that. Has in recent days removed pages about its equity training, workshops, and multi-million-dollar giveaways to racial equity groups. That doesn't mean they're stopping. The one appears to be in response to the conservative group Consumers Research launching a boycott of Stanley Black & Decker products or the company's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. The thing is, if we come here to the site, hold up. There's something dubious here. Let me bring this up again. You can see they still have stuff up. Okay, it's not going away. Or inclusive culture. We're building company culture where inclusiveness is a reflex, not an initiative. Oh, imagine that. Does that sound familiar? A little bit. Where there's a deep sense of pride, passion, and belonging that transcends any role, business unit, language, or country. Where all employees feel valued, heard, and positioned to do their best work every day. So is this going away? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this is a fantastic point here. While other firms have publicly announced U-turns on DEI, not really. For informed employees in internal memos, the toolmaker seems to have just only to remove some of its controversial online content and call it a day. Is this a wing? I don't think it is. They also have this guy here. I couldn't find anything about this guy. Kind of sad. Will Hill, the director of Consumers Research, accused the company of deleting all evidence of their offensive activities from their website, when they should be more upfront with their customers. True. Until they own up to their mistakes and publicly apologize for their failures, consumers should assume that Stanley Black & Decker has every intention to continue putting woke politics ahead of their customers. And this line here is probably the biggest takeaway. He added that the firm's DEI efforts could well persist, albeit more surreptitiously than before they were caught. If you don't know this word, which I didn't, just say stealthily. It's just real interesting. Obviously, they're not answering for comment. So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting stuff. What else do we have here? Ah, this is a fantastic article too. No, not this one. This one. Mothballed. Did you see moth? And some lamps, brother. Caterpillar changes stance on DEI policies. I can read this one, it's kind of short, but I think it's pretty interesting. Hay plant manufacturer Caterpillar has seemingly become the latest company to succumb to pressure from social media activist Robbie Starbuck and cancel its DEI commitments. I'm sure about that. I guess I'm not. Though Starbuck is claiming the news is another win for his ongoing campaign. Yes, he's claiming this as a win for himself. Caterpillar actually decided last year to stop participating in the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index ranking system, said the firm. They decided that last year. So no, this is from late September, by the way. We have a date here. Can we say that? Yeah, we can. It's on the side. But it is revamping some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, telling employees by an internal letter that training programs will now be focused on fostering high performance, and senior management approval will be now required when choosing external speakers. The company will also introduce new guidelines for external donations and sponsorships. A Caterpillar representative confirmed that the firm had talked to Starbuck after he reached out about their DEI policies. It's also beautiful, plausible deniability for them. Oh, we're not doing this. You can take this as a win, just don't look. Surely, nothing wrong is gonna happen. The company still has a DEI page on its website and continues to highlight its recognitions from Forbes for 2024 Best Employers for Diversity and 2024 America's Greatest Workplaces for Diversity from Newsweek. They must all be true. And you can say, well, this mentions the 2023 report. Yes, but at the same time, 2024 hasn't finished yet. So, you have a bunch of recognitions here. 25's Europe's diversity leaders. Isn't that suspicious? Kinda is. Bringing back, the last part here is also really important, I feel. Starbucks' apparent obsession with vehicle brands has seen him claim to have influenced the policies of John Deere, Harley Davidson, and Ford in recent months. Although successive companies canceling their DI commitments, seems to suggest a trend away from promoting diversity in the workplace. There has also been a reaction from other corporate voices in the matter. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, Jesus Christ, JP Morgan, referring his company's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion principles, along with the Signal Group CEO David Cordani, who told shareholders that its DEI efforts advance our business objectives, how we innovate and create solutions for employees or customers. Shareholders, huh? They still have to butter them up, so that's gonna happen. Similarly, ConocoPhillips CEO Ryan Lance expressed to investors his belief that DEI is aligned with shareholder value and improved financial performance. I went into a rabbit hole about this, and you cannot actually demonstrate that. Sure, there is some correlation sometimes. There's no causation, so you cannot explain that. A lack of information, sure, but you know. And MasterCard's Chief Administrative Officer Tim Murphy also weighed in, stating at the company's annual meeting that it remains committed to creating a global corporate environment where all people are treated equally and fairly, have equal access to opportunities and advancement. Unless you're white, I guess. MasterCard of all people. That is not surprising. Not at all. What else do we have here? This is from... Is this Boeing? It's Boeing. And originally I said, well, Boeing could be a tentative win for us. I'm not quite sure anymore. People in inclusion. They still have all their stuff up, especially down here. Including ambassadors. So bad. Hello, how you doing, Sniper Brittany? We're reading about DI nonsense today. So I guess for Boeing, even though they changed their CEO, I'm afraid, but their planes are gonna keep crashing. Sad to say. So sad to see. What else we have here? Oh, Jack Daniels. This one's pretty good. New dynamics at play. Jack Daniels Maker ends DI initiatives. Do they? Where was it? Forgot a bunch of stuff about these articles. It's quite annoying. Performance Corp, the Kentucky-based manufacturer of alcohol brands including Jack Daniels, announced on August 21st that it will end several diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in response to shifting legal internal landscape. Funny how that works, huh? A company spokesperson confirmed in an email to HR Dive, which is this website. The employer made the announcement in a company-wide email. For a copy of the letter shared not by comes later, to Twitter by anti-dei activist Robbie Starbuck, Performance said it would tie executive incentives and employee goals to business performance rather than DEI outcomes. Which should be good, but they keep saying that and they keep doubling down with DEI nonsense, just with a different name. So who knows? The company said it would sunset quantitative workforce and supplier diversity ambitions, stop participating in the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index, which a lot of these companies are stopping this, and I'm gonna assume it's just because they don't want people knowing what they're doing. Reviewed remaining programs to align with an evolved strategy. Okay, now that's a different link. Looking. I'm looking. Ah, there we go. On today's prior to Brown Pharma's announcement, motorcycle manufacturer. Oh, this is Harley Davidson, not Jack Daniels. Just two names and I think they're the same. No, that was not what I was looking for. But it was this paragraph here. The professionals have sounded alarms for several months about challenges to the industry from both internal and external stakeholders. External stakeholders. Which could mean literally anyone, as we've seen before. Such pressures have been acknowledged by organizations like the Society for Human Resource Management, which revised its own DI platform by dropping the that stands for equity last month. You're gonna see this a lot once again. Could Jack Daniels actually be stopping their DI initiatives? Maybe. I didn't find enough information. So it could be the case. It could be the case. I can make a definitive judgment with this one. We also have Tractor Supply. We're gonna skim a little bit once again. From late June 2024. Going forward, we will ensure our activities and give insight directly to our business. For instance, this means we will no longer submit data to the Human Rights Campaign. Once again, nothing new, it's fine. We focus our team member engagement groups on mentoring, networking, and supporting the business. They keep saying that too. Similar stuff to this, at least. Further focus on rural America priorities, including age education, animal welfare. Animal welfare, what? I don't know what that is. Seems funny. Veteran causes and being a good neighbor and stopping sponsoring non-business activities like pride festivals and voting campaigns. Sure, I think that's fair. And I might be tinfoiling a little bit too much with this next point. Eliminate DEI roles and retire our current DEI goals. while ensuring a respectful environment. This could be a win, however. Eliminate DA roles, we've seen that once and once again. Because now it's belonging, now it's D and I, now it's just a bunch of different names, right? And they also mention our current, keyword, current goals. Is this literally everything? We don't know. We don't know. I might be tinfoiling, that's fine. And finally, withdraw our carbon emission goals and focus on our land and water conservation efforts. Which I guess makes sense to some extent. Carbon emission goals is just a fool's errand at the end of the day. You cannot be net zero, it's impossible, it's literally impossible. I keep telling you. You have to go for net zero, it's literally impossible. That's why. It's fine if it's impossible, right? Because you are still alive. Still. So I'm not quite sure about tractor supply. It could be a wing. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I would need more information. We have some more stuff here. John Deere's. Harvesting controversy over John Deere's DI decision. Let's see. John Deere's July 16, 2024 statement until needed several pivotal changes. Station for participation in external social or cultural awareness events, including parades and festivals. That's fair. Also, external. As a list, understandable. Focusing of business resource groups solely on professional development, networking, mentoring, and talent recruitment. But they keep saying that, and they keep doubling down, so I'm not quite sure, right? The messages, they just blur together because they're pretty much the same. Comprehensive audit of training materials. To eliminate socially motivated messages while maintaining compliance with legal requirements. Which legal requirements? We don't know. Could this be a wing? It could be. I'm lacking information, but it's suspicious. Reformation that diversity quotas and frontal identification are never being and are not company policy. Okay. Frontal identification seems strange to me, but I think that's okay if they don't have it. Once again, diversity quotas. Thing is, we know they are diversity quotas. They give it a different name internally, because diversity quotas are quite literally illegal. So, I don't know. And obviously they can mention Roby Starbuck. What else do we have here? This is from Lois. Ah, diversity and inclusion, what the hell? I thought that was not a thing anymore. And you might be thinking, well, perhaps this is in old version of the website, maybe they didn't update it, right? It could be the case, but their DI announcement was from summer. They updated the website 2 weeks ago. If you right click, inspect element, or see source code and whatever, you can see that they updated the website, at least with a bunch of stuff in the header, 2 weeks ago. I don't think that's the case. I don't think this was just a mistake. What can you say? What can you say? They have this open twice? No, it's just that the logo is similar. Also, what about Ford? What about it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's still here. It's still on the website. What do you mean? Ford invites us to bring our whole selves, all of our passion, inspiration, integrity, and uniqueness into the office each day. We are our family. We celebrate our differences. We all belong. Belonging? It's right here. Keeps happening. It keeps happening. What do we have? I need to move my arrow a little bit. Well, we don't have Any more companies? Thank goodness. We finished that part. And we have another devious little creature here, getting up to mischief. That is, I am Miles Chang. Wokeness is at dead end. Nature is healing. Measures of DEI or diversity, equity, and inclusion in quarterly earnings goals, and they have been going down. But if you look at the graph here, we can open it in a new tab. You can see here it peaked in quarter 2 of 2021. It's been going down since then. 2022, 2023, 2024. And you know why? Because they're changing the language. They have been changing the language for more than a year. So that makes sense. They're not gonna mention DEI when it has a new name already. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? It's so strange. It's so strange to me. I don't understand. Oh, this is a win. Are these guys just grifting or are they just stupid? Could be both. I don't know. It could be both. Okay, let me check something here on the side. Getting up to mischief. Getting up to mischief. It's fine. Okay, what else? What else we have? Oh yeah. We also have a an article that's been going around this past week, but and people are not reading it. People are not reading it. So sad to see. Once again, from Forbes. Despite DEI pushback, new report shows companies stay committed to DEI. For November 20th, this was last week. And you have people say, well, it's fine, let them fall. That's not the problem. Since 2022, anti-DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion activists have attacked DEI goals, talent programs aimed at specific demographics, and supply diversity initiatives. Not only having some hassle names, we've seen them, they have piloted their DEI strategies amidst their pushback. Yeah, I guess pivot is a good name. However, despite this perceived pushback, corporate support for DEI remains strong. According to Tenio's new State of Sustainability in 2024, DEI will survive report. And a lot of people are saying, this is just copium, this is just copium. You don't even know what your enemy is saying, and you claim to win. Do I need to read you guys The Art of War? I might. I might have to do that at some point. 43% of companies continue to maintain and promote quantitative time-bound DEI goals. 80% of DEI goals remain unchanged from 2023. 67% of companies have targeted talent programs for diverse talent. 70% of companies have supplier diversity programs. Those are not small numbers, to be fair. To get a more accurate idea of companies' commitment to DEI, it's important to look at these three areas: DEI goals, DEI talent programs, and supplier diversity programs. I never understood the supplier diversity. If your organization has yet to set goals, build talent programs, or supplier diversity programs, it's not too late to start. DEI goals. To effectively set DEI goals, it is important to first assess the current state of your organization and get a baseline of data, quantitative and qualitative. This can involve gathering data on employee demographics, conducting assessments, or listening sessions to understand employee perceptions, and analyzing policies and practices to identify potential barriers to diversity and inclusion. I can tell you that a lot of people are reading that bullshit. I need a sip. I need a sippy here. Once you have a clear understanding of your organization's needs, you can begin to develop specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound Smart. DEI goals. These goals should align with your organization's overall values, business goals, and strategic objectives, and they should be communicated clearly to all employees. I'm gonna skip a bunch of stuff here because this is not what I'm looking for. They're just repeating a bunch of stuff here that we already know. This is funny. Talent programs such as mentorships, fellowships, internships, and scholarships that focus on specific demographics are not exclusionary. Focus on specific demographics are not exclusionary. How can you be lying so blatantly to me? They are prominently featured in nearly 70% of reports and framed as essential tools for reaching diverse candidates. Sure, are they good? I don't think they are. Building a DA talent program is essential for ensuring that your organization attracts, retains, and develops a diverse and inclusive workforce. In recent years, with the rise of DEI, many companies pivoted to focus on diversity, to focusing on inclusion. Oh, not inclusion, man. All to find that they were not able to retain diverse talent. What the hell? To create an effective program, consider implementing talent programs such as mentorships, fellowships, internships, and scholarships that focus on supporting specific underrepresented demographics. For example, if an organization doesn't have equitable representation of women in leadership, they may consider an internship or sponsorship program to support women in their career advancement. It's all about quotas. And they will tell you, it's not quotas, it's literal quotas, it's here, what do you mean? Organizations generally have diverse representation at the front lines. There's an opportunity to develop skills while existing employees for career advancement. With, not while. Why did I say while? I think the big point here is here. Despite perception of DEI pushback, Tenio also finds organizations are continuing to use language consistent with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Imagine that. Companies are taking steps to adapt to the current risk environment, as illustrated by the following proof points. Although 94% of companies use some form of the acronym in their sustainability reports, more companies are prioritizing inclusion or adding culture and belonging. While 80% of the companies with DEI goals last year remain unchanged, the Scottish decision on affirmative action in higher education led to a 4 percentage point reduction in the use of diverse representation goals, because it's illegal. Imagine that. The industry report confirms that while companies may be modifying their external communications around DEI, they are still pursuing them. Despite the recent pivots and news headlines, the truth is that companies remain committed to DEI. It's not going away. They're just changing the name. Imagine that. Imagine that. And we have another different post, which I think is fine. We have it here from Phantom Pulse. I like them. They're pretty nice. Major corporations remain committed to DEI despite massive backlash. Imagine that. A relatively recent report claims that the major S&P 500 companies are committed to DEI initiatives, programs, and policies despite significant backlash to it. It's not going away. It's not going away. It's not going away. Stop. A report published on October 1st from public relations and advisory company tenants. Yeah, it's the tenant stuff. But they have the graphs here, which is pretty useful. The numbers are pretty much the same. DEI terminology. Equity-led, culture-led, or belonging-led, 94%. It's in variations of DEI. Big. Key DEI goals disclosed. Hair representation goals, 32%. As supplier diversity goals, 14%. Have other DEI goals, 23%. Adjustments in DA goal disclosure. Representation, supply diversity, other. In blue we have announced new, and in black we have omitted existing goals. So it's actually increasing. We have companies with targeted talent programs, literally 2 out of 3. 67%. That's illegal. But still. Companies with supplier diversity programs, 78%. It's funny how that works, huh? It's funny how that works. Now it's going away. Is it really going away? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. It's literally not. What are you doing? It's literally not going away. They're just changing terminology, and you're thinking that is a wing. How is that a wing? I don't understand. I don't understand. It's so ass, man. It's so ass. So ass. So yeah, they're pretty much just lying to you. Willingly or just because they are ignorant. But given Robbie Starbucks reports and videos, I'd say he's lying willingly. Why? I don't know. He has to get something out of that. Surely he gets a bunch of recognition because look, I am destroying DEI, even though it's not true, but I don't know. He's playing both sides. Is he trying to advance his political career? I have no idea. But he's literally dying. What if everything is sleep? Lying. What if everything is sleep? So let's go to better news. Still not good, but somewhat better. Let's talk about Wizards of the Coast for a while. Wizards of the Coast designer who authored Dungeons and Dragons, the making of original D&D. Well, some fans are happy with books insulting of games creators. I consider these people not worth listening to. Surely that's a good idea. Surely that's a good idea. The latest example of those in charge of a classic nerd hobby, proclaiming themselves to be better than its long-time fans. Wizards of the Coast designer Jason Dandrew has admitted that when writing Dungeons and Dragons, the making of original D&D, he did not care that readers may disagree with the book's denigration of the game's original creators because, simply put, he considers anyone who would get upset about it to be not worth listening to. Funny how that works. Also, I don't know if they're gonna mention that in this article, but that book is already with the 50% off sale because it's not selling. Imagine that. As probably reported in his book, Tundra spends a decent amount of the book's text going out of his way to apologize for the fact that the original version of the game was not sufficiently progressive by modern standards. It was 50 years ago, what do you mean? In doing so, suggesting that its creators were inherently bigoted themselves because they were white Christian men. Come on. In one instance, Thunder writes, and that the rules for fantastic medieval war games campaigns that make up original D&D were created by and sold to a war gaming community that was almost exclusively white middle-class men. Do you mean nerds? Not derogatory, but a bunch of nerds. It's fine. That's okay. I too am a nerd. It's not a big deal. But to say that nerds have to be white middle-class men? I don't know. Why are you making that about race? That doesn't make any sense. The rules compiled here offer little by way of roles for other players. They're indeed for anyone who wouldn't easily identify with the pulp sword and sorcerer hero, said the designer. Well, yeah, that's the objective of the game. That's how you play the game. You make a hero. What do you mean? What's wrong with you? Stop. Especially before 1974, the rules made light of slavery, in addition to including other harmful content. making light of a slavery. Because you have a slavery in the game, that's not making light of it. And you have to fight against the slavery. Also, I think you can have really good redemption stories with someone that buys slaves, okay? You buy a slave, but then you end up growing fond of it. So there's a possibility there, that's all I'm saying. At Tron, Thunder for the World's readers, soul language in the first iteration of D&D presents a moral quandary. The documents reproduced in this book include many pages of charts and tables, alongside lists of monsters and spells and magic items. But the game content also includes a virtual catalog of insensitive and derogatory language, words that are casually hurtful to anyone with a physical or mental disability. Nowadays, maybe. It was 50 years ago, I'm not quite sure about that. Happen to be old, fat, non-conventionally attractive, indigenous, black, or a woman. Look, if you're fat, that's probably your fault, okay? Some people have charitably ascribed this language to authors working from bad assumptions. Continues. In the 70s, historical war games in America were predominantly white. Did you know that most people in America are white? It's gonna happen. Middle-class men. It is surprising that they would have a class of soldiers defining men. Is that what you're bitching about? But when, in the pages of the expansion model Greyhawk, the description of the Queen of Thousand Dragons includes a dig at women's live, the misogynist revealed it's a conscious choice. Or it could be a joke, you don't know that. I would need to see that page to properly know. Further than the resorts, it's an unfortunate fact that women seldom appear in original D&D. And when they do, they're usually portrayed disrespectfully. Having to save the princess does not mean that's disrespectful. That's based in all the tales and history. Slavery appears in original D&D not as a human tragedy that devastated generations over centuries. Whoa! The virtue signaling here is massive, dude. There's a simple commercial transaction. I would need to say that. It is possible, but at the same time, then you have something similar in 5th edition. You have the... what's the name again? Companions, helpers, something like that. Those could be slaves. Cultural appropriation of original D&D ranges from the bewildering and naming every 6th level cleric a lame. Cultural appropriation is just a term for a tier of power of a religious class. I don't think that's a big deal. It is staggering. The reference book Gods, Demigods and Heroes, represented in this book, includes game statistics for sacred figures revered by more than 1 billion people around the world. He then recalls. Were players expected to fight Vishnu, one of the principal deities of Hinduism, kill him, and load his +3 sword of demon slaying? What do you mean? What do you mean? Not really. What the fuck do you mean? How many times in video games, especially Final Fantasy, have we fought Shiva? Many times. Also appears as an enemy in Grand Blue Fantasy. Also as playable character, don't ask. How many times have you fought Odin? How many times have you fought Thor or Loki? How many times have you fought Greek deities? Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, just to name a few. How many times have you fought? Well, maybe not fought, but I'm not quite sure about fought, but Japanese deities. Bunch of them. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's been happening, literally, for 50 years. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? Cutting out the preface, Central ultimately pines. Despite the shortcomings, D&D has always been a game about people choosing to be someone unlike themselves. What a fucking self-report. Choosing to be someone unlike themselves. Then, why do you have to see yourself in the game? My diversity and my inclusion doesn't make any sense. It's pure nonsense. And collaborating with strangers who become friends has slowly become more inclusive, and as the player base has become more diverse, the pool of creators who make the game expanded to include people with a broader range of identities and backgrounds. Who cares? It's plain pretend, literally anyone can do that. As these new creators make the game more welcoming, the game has attracted new fans who, in turn, continue to make the game worse. You mean more inclusive? They're making the game worse. I'm sorry to tell you this. The future of Dungeons & Dragons, here at its 50th anniversary, is bright. I don't think it is. People are checking out from D&D, dude. I'm funny to see how much they sell the new books. The new revision. Do you know that you don't have to buy the books? You can just play pretend at home. It's free. Listen to store shelves in July, the book spot shouting of D&D's original creators recently drew a new round of public attention thanks to its catching the attention of Twitter owner Rocketman Elon Musk. In response to Thunder's words, declared, "Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons & Dragons. What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro and WotC made them burn in hell?" And a lot of people don't realize, but D&D created the genre of RPGs. If you like RPGs, video game RPGs, yeah, that's thanks to D&D, actually. It's kind of a long chain, but it all traces back. D&D, it all traces back to Tolkien. Funny how it works. As a result of this newfound attention, in a currently unidentified Facebook group, a reader would inquire with Tundra out of curiosity, "Did you or your team foresee any blowback to your comments, potentially?" That is, attention from Musk was as unpredictable as it is ludicrous. But was there any sense in advance that this could drive some portion of the fandom the wrong way, though still be worth doing? In turn, Tundra asserted, "Early in the book's development, the marketing team asked me what sort of critiques we should expect and prepare for. And I and the editors agreed the problem was going to be from progressives and people from underrepresented groups who justly took offense at the language of original D&D. Underrepresented groups. Is this white savior complex? I think it is. I didn't write the preface until late, and I wrote it to address those concerns," he then revealed in conclusion to his post. "It never occurred to me I'd rouse the ire of the grog nerds, which, for people that don't know, are all the school players of war games that don't like new rules. Sometimes new rules are worse, so I get it. It's obvious now that I look back on it, but I look back on it. But I just don't take those critiques seriously even now. I consider those people not worth listening to, so I didn't anticipate their outrage. Surely, you don't need to care about the long-term fans of the franchise." And I have to admit that the grog nerds are right. Their rules are ass. Okay? I only got into D&D with 5th edition. It was not by my hand, but you know. And I thought 5th edition was okay. I look at the new revision. I appreciate the rebalance to stuff like the monk. Now you're able to properly dual wield while still using martial arts. That's pretty good. That should be always the case with the weapon properties, something like that. I don't remember the mechanic. But the game has become mostly a bland version of 5th edition. And I took a quick look at 3.5 edition. This was a month ago, and it looked way more interesting than 5th edition. So yes, it's becoming worse and worse. But this appeals to more people. Congratulations, great slap for you. So bad. It's so bad, man. But speaking of Elon Musk, we have some more stuff from him, I guess. I still don't know how to feel about this one. Elon Musk is starting his own AI game studio to make video games great again. Look, make video games great again? Cool. Using AI studio though? I'm curious, but I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful at all. After Fang asked Elon Musk if he'd consider launching his own game studio, the entrepreneur tweeted that he'd been starting one through XAI. The social media user tweeted about the manipulative BS of the game development, prompting Elon Musk to say he'd be starting an AI gaming studio. Oh my god. Also, before I forget, with this thing, Elon Musk mentioned something about maybe I have to buy Hasbro. It's like 9 billion, it's a lot of money. I don't think monopolies are good. Maybe he could buy WotC, at least. If he can. If he can. I don't understand how game developers and game journalism got so ideologically captured. Gamers have always been trolls, anti-greedy corporations, anti-BS, said Twitter user Billy M2K. Mewtwo King? I hope not. Gamers have always created damn manipulative BS and can tell when someone is an outsider poser. Why link it to the BS? Because they're clowns, they don't know any better. That's when Mouse retweeted the user's message, adding in his announcement, too many game studios that are owned by massive corporations. XAI is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again, Musk said on Wednesday, November 27th. Elon Musk says applying AI to video games would make for incredible gameplay. I don't think so. If you're talking about improving character AI, sure. I don't think that's the case. Still, I'm curious but not hopeful. In October, Fang asked Musk if he ever thought about making his own game studio, after coming across gaming platforms prioritizing pronouns in gameplay. Musk eagerly responded, if there was one thing that would be a fun thing to do, it would be to start a gaming studio. It's really fun. It's really fun to make games, to be fair. Because he do actually intrinsically love video games. He's a top player in Diablo 4. But that makes sense. And I think if you apply AI to a video game, you could really make it just an incredible video game. Ah, hold up. If you apply AI to a video game, that's not making AI games necessarily. I know these are different statements, but it could be interesting, curious, but not helpful. The problem with DEI and the woke mind virus is that it kills the art. When you see something that is forcibly imposed in a game, it kills the art. Yeah? It gets you out of the story because you feel you're being lectured. Hello? No Dragon Age? Have you seen the clips? Yes. Let me just enjoy my video games. Fans on Twitter were excited about Musk's decision to launch his own game studio. Wouldn't this so bad, Elon? All the games coming out this last years suck, exclaimed one. Not literally all, but a lot of them. A huge amount. And the games that don't suck, they are not as good as they should be. Alex Fing. Blue checkmark. Not gonna make it. Wow, XAI is now going to make games. Huge. Excuse me. Said another. This is the way, added the third. As of recently, Musk became a #1 Diablo 4 player in the world. #1. He was like top 20. He was previously ranked within the top 20, but after conquering the Diablo tier 150 in under 2 minutes on November 20th, he took the world title. Oh my god, one of the most influential people in the world nowadays, the richest man alive. I think he's still the richest, I'm not quite sure. Just a fucking nerd that loves games. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, trying to do a little bit too much. Not necessarily bad, but I wish we had more people. I wish we had more people. It could be a problem, right? The guy has Twitter, he's gonna work for the government, planning. He might, who knows. He could buy Hasbro, he could make games. That's a lot of stuff. I don't think that's a monopoly. But that's a lot of stuff, and we're just relying on a quote-unquote based billionaire. I don't dislike Elon Musk, I don't work with him. Excuse me. Fuck, I'm dying. Bunch of stuff I don't agree with him. But we literally have only a guy. We have literally just a guy. That's kind of scary, man. That's kind of scary. It's better than nothing, sure, but I wish we had a better situation. Oh my god. Fuck. Could this be good? Maybe. I don't know. I would need to see something first. Once again, curious, but not hopeful. But speaking of monopolies, we have some stuff from PC Mag, not PC Gamer. DOJ! Chrome must split off from Google. Let's dismiss this. Android is no longer on the chopping block in the Google antitrust case. Federal antitrust officials are trying to force Google to sell off its Chrome web browser as part of an antitrust ruling and are no longer targeting an Android sell-off, according to a new report from Bloomberg. They owning Android is also kind of big, not gonna lie, because they have a lot of control thanks to the Google Play Store. That's massive power. If you're not in the Play Store, are you even alive? Maybe not. The judge is also being asked to force Google to implement new rules around Google's AI and Android tech. That was gonna happen sooner or later. It's currently unclear what exactly those rules might be. Data licensing requirements may also be implemented, according to the report, which doesn't elaborate further on the type of data in question. Data licensing in Google? Yeah, that's not good. The changes and proposed resolutions come months after the judge ruled in August that Google's search engine is a monopoly in the case, which was brought forth by the US Department of Justice in 2020. Chrome is reportedly a primary concern for the antitrust regulators because they see it as a main way to access Google search. Well, that is true, it also makes sense. But I do remember back in the day, you didn't have search engines baked into the web browsers. How old I am? A bit old perhaps. Excuse me. So you don't need it. It's so obvious for Google Chrome to add Google as baked in searching engine, but you don't need one in a web browser. It's really easy to use. I cannot blame them. Google VP of Regulatory Affairs, Liam Mulholland, has rejected the government's arguments. Under plans a radical agenda that goes far beyond the legal issues in this case. Are we sure about that? And claiming the government is putting its thumb on the scale to harm consumers. Because it's really easy to use, but at the same time, Google has access to too much data thanks to that. They're gonna sell your data anyway. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. That is still a problem. Chrome makes up 61% of the browser market in the US. That's kind of low. It's a bit higher, closer to 80. It's also used the most, obviously. Apple Safari comes second, but is significantly behind in market share, while Edge, Firefox, Opera, and others are used even less. Firefox is that low, huh? It's not that bad. Has some problems, but it's not that bad. Chrome began growing in popularity back in 2009 after its launch. Went from just 6% of the global browser market to already 60% of it by 2013, according to historical data estimates. And since 2013, for the past 10 years, we had a lot of mischief from Google Chrome and from Google in general. Not good mischief, but Okay, how is this allowed? How did this break? For 10 years. It's gonna happen, I know, but something seems more than dubious. Cam has a number of Google interrogations, letting users sign into their Google accounts, which includes Gmail, Google Drive, etc. To manage dedicated Chrome profiles. It collects data on you and then finds ways to monetize that data. This is so normalized, but it shouldn't be the case. Like the machine demons, they're also normalized, but that shouldn't be the case. Still have to suffer it. I still have to suffer it every single time. So bad. Google's ad tech business also facing a separate DOJ trial, with policy experts arguing in September that Google's alleged monopoly over the ad tech business also harms the open web and worsens inflation. And I found this to be a little bit interesting, but yes, once again, they have too much power. I understand the monopoly accusations. We're gonna connect more data to you than Apple Mail or Microsoft Outlook, and Chrome similarly links more types of data to you than Edge or Safari. Chrome links your financial info, which to me is absolutely wild and that shouldn't happen ever. Browsing history identifiers location, usage data, user content, and other data to you as well. While Safari and Edge don't tie your financial, location, or browsing history data to you. Guys, is Edge actually good? Surprising. If you want more privacy while using the web, it's worth looking at alternative web browsers and email clients. Then collect or use as much of your data. Also, speaking of Google Chrome, I'm pretty sure you cannot get uBlock Origin anymore. They're moving away to different manifests, and that's gonna be terrible. Guys, I think Brave is pretty cool. That's what they say at least. So that's kind of interesting. I'd like to see what happens with this, because this is rather unique. Chrome having to split up from Google. Interesting. It's probably for the best. We also have this. Whose monopoly harms the open web, worsens inflation, experts argue. This is wild to me. This is wild to me. I thought I thought we don't have inflation. Imagine that. As the DOJ trial against Google's ad tech business continues, policy experts accuse Google of warping the digital economy. But will the DOJ win and bring online shopping prices down? Who knows? The US Department of Justice lawsuit against Google's ad tech business is well underway after months of legal discovery, and 9 states signing on to join the fight. Yeah, that's gonna happen. But as Google prepares to defend itself in court, non-profit policy experts warn that a Google win in the second antitrust suit could dramatically harm the future of the internet. The internet has been harmed quite a lot in the past 10 years. It's gonna keep happening. If Google wins this case, we'll continue to see the decline of the open web. Dave Hepner, a California-based, I don't think so, antitrust lawyer and senior legal counsel for the American Civil Liberties Project, saying in a press hearing on Thursday, "I liken the open web to the small business of the internet. The loss of that ecosystem will make the market increasingly vertical and siloed between walled gardens." True. If you're not in Google, are you really even alive? In January 2023, the DOJ sued Google, alleging its ad tech business a monopoly. Google tried to get the case thrown out, but was unsuccessful. Unlucky. The DOJ has been publishing internal Google emails, presentations, and documents online, despite Google employees' attempts to hide their messages from government investigators. How curious, huh? Why would you do that, Do you have something to hide? In this case, I guess that's the case. I have such a way with words. It has been trying to downplay its predatory business model thus far, says Sutra Hapworth, executive director at the Dega Reset Project. Everyone says Google's ad tech business is warping the digital economy and effectively contributing to inflation. This is because if Google didn't dominate the ad tech landscape, more competition could ultimately lead to lower prices for consumers online. Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. Ellis Phillips, Policy Council, and the non-profit Public Knowledge ultimately says this battle with Google is a long game. If the judge rules against Google, small businesses will get a fighting chance online, Philip argues. Yes, actually. You see, the ads just usually bigger companies. With a more accessible digital advertising landscape, the ability of small and medium enterprises to reach consumers will increase. Ideally, this will lead to lower prices because the visibility of a variety of markets will improve the longevity of smaller companies, which in turn will allow the market to become more diversified, Philip said. While not at all a guarantee, it's possible that a ruling in favor of the DOJ could bring prices down online by up to 4 to 5%. It's not a lot, but it's not nothing, says Carlos Morris, Executive Director at the Tech Oversight Project. Conversely, Karina Montoya, researcher and senior reporter at the Open Markets Institute, says a Google win could increase the divide between the haves and the have-nots. It's always been the case. It's really easy to just a snowball when you're big, and that happens with Google and thanks to Google. Funny how that works. PC Mag has reached out to Google for comment. In previous DOJ lawsuit filed in 2020, a federal judge ultimately ruled that Google created an illegal monopoly with its search engine by paying companies like Apple to make Google search the default on Safari. Yes. As well as in other browsers and devices. The court also found that Google has a monopoly over its search ads. Google has said it's appealing this decision. Yeah, became too big. And it's funny, they didn't even mention Android devices here, which is also the case. In Europe, Google recently got the EU to rescind a 1.7 billion fine over its advertising practices. As part of an antitrust investigation, they filed Europe, please stop it. Ah man, Google reportedly offered to sell its AdX business in Europe to address antitrust concerns, but potential buyers rejected the offer. Maybe they wanted too much money. That can also be the case. That's a really good point. Google has been in a regulated monopoly for decades and has already done irreparable damage to the web with mobile first and other policies. Yes, and I hate the mobile first kind of shenanigans. It's so annoying, man. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. You see websites doing just mobile first. They're so bad. They are so bad. It's so ugly. It's barely functional. What did they mean? But phone users will eat that up because they're stupid. So sad to say, but they're so stupid. Anyway. Almost 2 hours, that's pretty good. But it's time for me to take my leave. Talked about the bench. DI bullshit, how it's not really going away. How they're fucking lying to you and so ass. And I always say this. Do not get depressed, okay? Knowing is really important. And we should know what's going on. And since we know, well, it cannot grow on the down low. So, when these little creatures keep coming, we can get them. We can get them really good. We know exactly what's going on, so it's not a big deal. Well, it is kind of a big deal, but at the same time, we can deal with this. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it's getting late. It's getting a little bit late for me. Well, not necessarily late, but I don't have anything else to read here. So yeah, thank you for coming. I hope you had some fun. Didn't become depressed. Welcome back on Monday with some more Yagasakumi. Did just advance a little bit of the main story and just string a bunch for the dragon style. It's gonna be cool, guys. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. We're gonna string our dragon. And you know, missing up for now. Until then, you know the rules, baby. Take care.